Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, a federal judge extending Florida's voter registration deadline, citing the disruption of Hurricane Matthew. The judge will give potential voters another 6 days to register for the November 8th general election. Last week, the Florida Democratic Party filed a lawsuit after Governor Rick Scott refused to extend that deadline. The governor claiming people had enough time to register prior to the hurricane. This new deadline to register is now October 18th, 1 week from today. Now, as of this afternoon, the number of registered voters in Sarasota County exceeds 299,000. That includes more than 91,000 Democrats, 128,000 Republicans, and 78,000 registered as other parties. In Manatee County, more than 227,000 are registered, including 99,000 Republicans, 70,000 Democrats, and 57,000 other. Manatee County Elections Office will stay open until 7 o'clock tonight for those wanting to register. In other news, the Sarasota County School Board is getting closer to picking its next superintendent. The 3 finalists are here this week for interviews and meetings with the public. They are Brennan Asplin III, Todd Bowden, and Mark Porter. One of them will be replacing Superintendent Lori White, who is retiring. The school board interviewed the candidates this morning. Each one had an opportunity to say why they thought they were best for the job. Bowden talked first this morning, saying when it comes to switching leadership, trust must be earned with the community and not given. He also says open communication is vital.
My role as superintendent would be to facilitate open conversation with the board. You are the elected representatives of this community. You speak on behalf of our community. And I think it's important that we create an environment that we can talk openly about the various perspectives that exist in this community.
These interviews are being streamed online. For a link, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and click on links we mentioned. And tomorrow, a public reception will be held for the candidates in the Riverview High School cafeteria. That begins at 6 o'clock. Those who attend will have a chance to meet the candidates, give their feedback to school board members. No decision yet on what the Manatee County School District will do with a now closed elementary school. At a workshop this week, school board members talked about selling the former Orange Ridge Bullock Elementary School campus. The school closed last June. Many of its students and teachers started this school year at Rogers Garden Bullock after the 2 schools merged. The school board will talk about the issue again at a later date. Also, Manatee County, some school district employees may see an increase in their paychecks. A 2.5% raise could be coming to employees, such as food service workers, bus drivers, and custodians. The increases must first be ratified by the union and then approved officially by the school board. Ratification could take a couple of weeks, but if approved, the agreements could take effect at the start of the district's next fiscal year, which is July 1st. 125 years ago today, the First United Methodist Church of Sarasota held its very first services. And to celebrate the moment, the congregation is digging up some of its history. This morning, members unearthed a time capsule. The last time it was opened, 25 years ago, back in 1991. In it were VHS tapes, cassette tapes, newspapers, Bibles, and Goodwill items from that time. Most of the items in the capsule have to do with the church. We spoke to one man who says his first visit to the church was more than 50 years ago, and he's amazed at how the institution has grown over the years.
I could watch all of the servicemen who were here in the area sitting on the steps of the church having girlfriends cuddling them. And that was in 1942. It's been here a long time, and they do a delightful job.
The church is actually the oldest institution in the city of Sarasota. It existed before the city of Sarasota, before the county of Sarasota. So it's a great thing to acknowledge.
After the time capsule opening, members plan for the next anniversary, which will be in 2041. That's when another time capsule will be open. I think the big challenge for them, John, is finding a VHS player to play that tape and see what's on it.
Yeah. The last one rolled off the assembly line, and they closed down the assembly line, so no more. Should I be depressed that I have a stack of VHS tapes at home and I'm in a time capsule, apparently?
Me too. Yeah.
Oh, well. We have had some clouds around this morning,
Yeah,
a little
very
bit.
nice.
Yeah, now we have some sunshine out there, so it's a pretty nice day today with low relative humidity once again, a little bit higher. We've been talking about how eventually we'd start to see the humidity work back in. It's still comfortable enough, but it's in the upper 60s now as opposed to the upper 50s. So it's a significant difference from the start of the week. Still, I think we're looking at a very nice afternoon. Nice breeze, kind of keeping us cool out of the northeast. We'll have periods of clouds moving through. We'll also have a lot of sunshine as well. As you can see, the kind of wave nature of the clouds, they'll come through in waves, sometimes a little bit cloudier than other times, but we're in kind of a sunny period right now. Forecast high today, I put it at about 86 degrees or so, and not much of a rain chance again today. In fact, the rest of the week looks pretty dry, but there will be some changes coming down the road. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. State transportation officials are looking into adding 4 roundabouts in South Manatee County. Those roundabouts would go in along US 41 at the intersections with University Parkway, College Drive, Braden Avenue, and the USF Sarasota Manatee entrance. The transportation officials presented some of the plans to Manatee County commissioners yesterday, but planning still in its very early stages. A community meeting is being held today to talk about issues impacting local neighborhoods. That meeting is an opportunity for residents to talk with Sarasota Police about any issues they're seeing, along with public safety. Police will also be giving updates on neighborhood and youth services and economic development. That meeting starts at 6 o'clock tonight at the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex in North Sarasota. Owning chickens in Sarasota County got a little bit easier. A new rule is now allowing backyard chickens into more residential neighborhoods. Residents can keep up to 4 hens on properties within single-family residential neighborhoods. Before, they could only be kept in agricultural zones. However, no noisy roosters are allowed. The vote is a victory for a local advocacy group named Cluck, which has been asking county commissioners to expand the county's regulations. October is Hispanic Heritage Month, and a Manatee County middle school is celebrating. Nolan Middle School will be hosting a Hispanic Heritage event tonight. It will feature music, crafts, samples of authentic Hispanic foods and drinks. Information from at least 21 Spanish-speaking countries will be on display. Sarasota's DK Dance Creations will also be there, offering Latin dance lessons. This all happens tonight from 5:30 until 7:30. Sounds like a fun night. Let's see what's cooking in the kitchen now. Get over to the kitchen and check in with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher for the first time. Hi, Judy. What do you have cooking for today?
Hi there, Scott. Well, with the temperature cooler at night, I think it's time to start bringing out all those fall flavors. So I'm making chicken stroganoff. My Nana was Hungarian, and we had a lot of beef stroganoff and chicken stroganoff. This is going to be a recipe you're going to want to hold on to, because you can even use your leftover turkey to make a turkey stroganoff a few days after Thanksgiving. So we're going to use boneless chicken thighs, and guess what? They're on sale at the Fresh Market, so we'll save you a few bucks there. We're going to bring in some delicious leeks and cook them down, mushrooms, and of course I have to bring out the truffle salt from the Spice and Tea Exchange. So stay with me throughout the hour. It's comfort food for sure with chicken stroganoff today in the kitchen.
Need new windows? Buy direct from the factory. New South Window is having a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 4 windows, save 25%. Buy 6 windows, save 30%. Buy 8 or more windows and save 35%. How? Because New South owns the factory and you cut out the middleman. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows and doors installed with a lifetime warranty. New South Windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com or call now.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Sun's out, temperatures rising. We're at 85 degrees right now. We have a dew point of 66. Northeast wind is at about 10. And we're in a period of sunshine. We'll probably have banks of clouds moving through as well during the afternoon hours that at times will give us kind of a cloudy sky, but we're having a lot more sunshine today than yesterday. 80 degrees in Wauchula, Myakka, Arcadia, Northport coming in at 80, so is Inglewood. 81 degrees in Punta Gorda and Venice, 80 in Lakewood Ranch and Parrish, and 79 in Bradenton, 80 in Longboat Key. Fairly uniform temperatures because the wind's kind of stirring things up and then kind of making a uniform temperature structure between inland and coastal regions. So we had a lot more high cloudiness around yesterday, though you couldn't really tell it because we had so much low cloudiness that it sort of obscured those high clouds. But today, generally, the lower clouds are prevailing as they come in off of Atlantic waters, that northeast wind continuing to push those clouds in this direction. We had a few sprinkles around this morning. Nothing really heavy, but a few down, particularly in Charlotte County and inland Hardy and DeSoto's. I'd call it more of a light drizzle than anything else. Certainly didn't affect the rainfall totals today. The general trend will be for those clouds to come through and rapidly pass on by, and a few sprinkles to be located mainly on the other coast. We still have a few here locally in Hardy and DeSoto counties, but they're few and far between. Arcadia is seeing a little bit right now. The tendency is for all of them to dampen out as they make it across. The air is still just too dry across the region, and so these showers that move on shore on the other coast have to kind of transport their own moisture with them. And once they get off the Atlantic waters and over land, why, they just tend to fall apart. Across the nation, there certainly are some storms in progress, mostly stretching from the central to western Great Lakes and all the way down into Texas. That hasn't really started up in Texas yet, but it will a little bit later on in the day. In fact, that'll be a hot spot, I think, for thunderstorm activity. Non-severe for the most part, but Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma all have a chance at seeing thunderstorm activity later in the afternoon. So if you're traveling to Houston or Dallas today, maybe some delays due to thunderstorm activity. We don't have anything like that across the state of Florida. Much too stable an atmosphere with high pressure building in from the north and from the west. The kind of battle between this high pressure ridge and Hurricane Nicole is causing our winds to be really funneled right down the Atlantic coastline along the Gulf Stream, picking up that moisture, producing those clouds, giving us those sprinkle or two. The winds, kind of breezy, will continue on today at a pretty good clip. We still have Nicole actually looking pretty formidable this morning. Over the last 12 hours or so, it's really taken on the shape of an impressive hurricane with a good, clear eye wall and some very symmetric structure. So Bermuda will certainly be taking note of this storm. For us, a sun-cloud mix, we'll call it breezy, with slowly rising humidity as that northeast fetch eventually brings us a little bit more moisture. Already has. We'll probably be in dew points near 70 as we head into Friday. 100-mile-an-hour winds, a Category 2 storm. There's potential before it hits Bermuda for further strengthening, and certainly a Category 3 storm is not out of the question. Crosses Bermuda, maybe it'll be a little to the east of Bermuda. That would be awesome. instead of to the west where it would get the strongest winds, and then off into the open Atlantic. Of course, Bermuda, very used to dealing with hurricanes, but still nonetheless a pretty disruptive storm. Northeast at 15 to 20 for boaters today. That'll bring you a moderate chop on bay and inland waters, and the official Suncoast forecast calls for a continuation of this lovely weather into the weekend. By the time we get to the weekend, though, humidity will be high enough that maybe we'll squeak out a shower. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Developing this afternoon, Sarasota Memorial Hospital must meet a deadline today for plans to expand operations in Venice. The hospital will be filing a certificate of need application to the state for a hospital on its Laurel Road property. Last month, SMH decided to drop a legal challenge in order to focus on the application after the State Agency for Healthcare Administration rejected plans for an 80-bed hospital there in Venice. Hospital officials say they want to invest their resources in a new application rather than get stuck in legal proceedings. SMH is also looking at building another hospital facility in Northport. The state has until December to make a decision. Prescription drugs are getting pricier, and not just for patients. According to the American Hospital Association, drug prices went up more than 38% per patient over the 2 years. The group warns many hospitals may not be able to afford stocking drugs, and patients may end up worse off because they can't pay for life-saving medication. The 500% price hike on EpiPens was cited as an example. Fewer and fewer adults are taking multivitamins. That's according to the American Medical Association. The study found fewer people are taking vitamin E, C, and selenium, perhaps because of the skepticism about antioxidant supplements. However, there has been an increase in people using probiotics, lycopene, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D. As a matter of fact, taking vitamin D and those omega-3 pills can lower your risk of cancer and cardiovascular problems. More kids and even some adults can't stand eating broccoli, but the health benefits of broccoli are too good to not have on your plate, especially if you're trying to lose some weight. In addition to cancer prevention, broccoli is high in fiber and provides the body with protein, fat, and other nutrients to help the body absorb calories slower. As a matter of fact, 1/2 cup serving of broccoli is just 15 calories, but has more than 60% of the recommended daily dose of vitamin C. Brussels sprouts are also a great source of fiber, vitamin C, and vitamin K.
As I always tell my patients, of all the vegetables, have at least one cruciferous vegetable every single day. And broccoli tends to be really tasty and very versatile in a lot of different recipes.
Broccoli allows blood sugar and insulin levels to remain stable, and both broccoli and Brussels sprouts can also help those who have problems with inflammation and chronic pain. So, in other words, eat those green vegetables. Coming up next, it's Tim Tebow to the rescue, how the former Heisman Trophy winner jumps into action for a fan in need, and how one man found a tasty way to check up on his grandmother after Hurricane Matthew moved through Florida. We'll have those stories when we come back.
These are our heroes. They have sacrificed so much to serve our country, and now Granny Nannies is truly honored to serve them. We're here, and we're ready to help. Call us today.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. Local celebrities show they can dance. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Les McCurdy and the Community AIDS Network join us to show us their dancing feet for a good cause. Our pet trends expert is here to get our four-legged friends ready for Halloween, both in and out of the house. Plus, Suncoast for sale, Siesta Key style, and Chef Judy brings us the best pumpkin treats of the season. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Come experience the precision, performance, and power of the Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Built tough enough to help you conquer whatever the day may throw your way with all the comfort, gizmos, and gadgets you'd find in a luxury vehicle. And right now, get over 20% off. That's up to $15,000 off a new Ram 1500. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
At Granny Nannies, we provide your loved ones with the care they deserve, compassionate and experienced help right where you need it most, at home. Visit us at GrannyNannies.com.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
A new government study looks into the positive and negative effects of teen driving. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, teen fatal crashes were nearly cut in half between 2005 and 2014, but they're still more likely to be involved in fatalities than adults are. The study also showed 19-year-olds suffered the most fatal accidents of any other teen age, followed by 18 and 20-year-olds. Female teens were also found to be more likely to wear seatbelts, and teenage boys more likely to speed. Teen Driver Safety Week, by the way, kicks off this Sunday, October 16th to the 21st. If you're looking to save some money, book your holiday flights now. According to airfare analysts, the best time to buy plane tickets for the Christmas break is this week. Tickets are usually cheapest about 80 days ahead of your trip. Prices are also lower compared to last year. You can wait a little longer to book for Thanksgiving, but just make sure you buy before the end of the month to get the lowest prices. It was a touching gesture by football-turned-baseball player Tim Tebow. While signing autographs after an Arizona Fall League game yesterday, a fan collapsed and had a seizure. Tebow stayed with him for about 15 minutes until paramedics arrived, praying over him, talking about college football to keep him occupied. Turns out the man was a University of Georgia fan, which, of course, is one of the arch rivals of Tebow's Florida Gators. Nevertheless, the man remained alert and in very good spirits.
I would just say thank you very much for being there for me, and thank you for praying with me.
In those moments of need, there's nothing else matters. That matters. That young man is what matters.
Tebow promised to reach out to him before leaving him to the care of the paramedics. He went hitless, by the way, during that Mets-Arizona Fall League game. And this isn't the first time Tebow has helped someone. Back in June, when a passenger on a plane had a heart attack, Tebow comforted those around him, his family members, with prayer. Back to the kitchen now, and Chef Judy, she's cooking up some delicious chicken stroganoff for us today. Judy?
Oh yeah, so what I do for my recipe is I use leeks. I love leeks. They're starting to caramelize in butter. You can certainly use a chopped onion if you prefer, but I love leeks, and that's how Nana made it, so I'm making it this way for you. Excuse me. Next, we're going to add the mushrooms. Mushrooms are a big part of the stroganoff, just like the noodles and the protein itself. So let's add a little bit more butter into that. And we're going to let that gently saute about 2 to 3 minutes. And excuse me, I am going to have a little sip of water because I have a little tickle. There we go. Now back to the cooking. So let's let this saute just a little bit. And if you have a large enough pan like I've done over here, you can add the chicken. We're just going to move the vegetables around. In a way, it's like a Hungarian stir fry in using one pan, but I'm going to use 2 because I have a lot of boneless chicken breasts to cook for everybody. The boneless chicken breasts, like I mentioned, they're on sale at Fresh Market. I cut them into pieces. You can cut them either into cubes or strips. I just like them in the strips. They're, boneless chicken thighs are chunky as they are, so I think they're going to cook more evenly if they're cut into a strip. Now for the flavor profile. Take my little packet of truffle salt over from St. Armand's Spice and Tea Exchange. Also another great culinary gift. There we go. And then I'm going to start dusting with paprika. That's right, dusting with paprika. So if you use the fork, it kind of helps you just kind of go around. And whatever I put in the recipe for an amount double it. If you have any Hungarian blood with you, and the Hungarian festival is this weekend, then you're going to want a lot of paprika. We really do cook with a lot. So saute that around. If you feel like you need a little bit more moisture, you don't need too much, but we don't want to go too crazy in the butter. Just add a drizzle of olive oil, and that will keep everything going in the pan. So this is looking pretty good. Let's add some black pepper. There we go. And keep getting this nice and tender. Once it's tender, then we can start working on cooking the chicken. So we'll do that in the next segment. And I'm telling you, you're gonna love this dish. It's so comfortable and delish. We'll be back in a few minutes to keep on cooking.
Ugly.
Big eyes.
Dweeb. Things that should never be said.
Shut it down. We are all beautiful.
Strong. Powerful. Choose to stand up against bullies.
Choose kindness.
Let SWC Properties sell your home today. Take advantage of this great market and sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. SWC Properties gives you the benefit of full-service marketing that sells your home faster with the fewest hassles. There are no hidden fees, and now for a limited time we'll list your home for 50% off. Wouldn't it feel great to save thousands and feel confident with your move? Give us a call for details or visit swcproperties.com and contact us for a free information packet and find out why. It's simple. We just market your home better.
I'm Bob Harrigan, ABC7. Join us Sunday, October 16th from 2 to 5 in Southside Village as 15 area fire stations compete for the title of Sarasota's Best Firehouse Chili. Proceeds benefit the Sarasota Firefighters Benevolent Fund.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. The FBI is on the scene of a deadly plane crash in Connecticut. One person was killed there when the small plane went down. The pilot survived and is now talking to authorities. But investigators want to know whether that crash was intentional. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the story.
This morning, investigators taking pictures and gathering evidence where the pilot who survived this fiery plane crash is now allegedly telling authorities this was no accident.
Looks like we got a fully involved aircraft on fire on Main Street.
The plane had taken off from an airport in Hartford, Connecticut, when just before 4 Tuesday afternoon, eyewitnesses say they saw the plane plunging into a busy street and taking down utility poles and power lines.
3 poles, when it hit the last one, it just boom.
Power just went out and work, and then everyone just ran outside.
On the plane, a student pilot and an instructor. On the ground, the plane narrowly missing a van carrying a mother and her children and this man's car.
He hit a pole just behind me. Then he came in and landed, and I actually thought it was part of the plane that was falling off.
It's a very active area. Sidewalks were full, businesses were full, and a heavy amount of traffic. The fact that there weren't more casualties as a result of this incident is pretty amazing.
Now, the search for answers, police saying they asked the FBI to investigate because the plane went down near a Pratt & Whitney factory, calling it a critical infrastructure where jet engines for commercial, military, and general aviation are manufactured. Well, we learned today the plane had 2 control panels, and police have yet to determine who was actually flying the plane at the time of this crash. Also, when asked if this was being investigated as terrorism, police say they are not ruling anything out. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
In Colorado, federal investigators are working with a bomb squad after a possible explosive device was left in front of a police station. A detective found that device in a backpack right outside of the building yesterday morning. He initially thought someone was trying to turn in a lost bag, but something about it seemed off. So a bomb squad came in and used 2 robots to dismantle the backpack. No one was hurt, and materials removed from the bag are now being analyzed to see if they were indeed an explosive. In Florida, a judge will decide whether or not that all of the 911 calls from the Pulse nightclub shooting should be made public. Relatives of the Orlando shooting victims, as well as the parents of the gunman, will be given the chance to speak at the hearing, expressing how they feel about the ordeal. Their opinions will be heard at a hearing on October 31st. Several media outlets have sued the city of Orlando to release those calls. The city argues calls should be exempt from Florida's public records law. In the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew, the island nation of Haiti is facing a serious health crisis. Hundreds of cholera cases are now being reported. The hurricane has accelerated the epidemic, which first broke out on the island 7 years ago. At least 900,000 people are affected. The World Health Organization is sending 1 million doses of cholera vaccine to prevent further outbreak. But more help is still needed, including medical supplies, water, and food, all of which is in short supply. The Navy's USS Iwo Jima arriving in Haiti today with those supplies, along with bulldozers and power generators. Back in the States, flooding from Matthew is expected to get worse before it gets any better. According to the National Weather Service, some rivers are expected to reach 25 feet late Thursday night or early Friday. Rescuers are hard at work, pulling stranded residents from their flooded homes. More than 2,000 people have been saved so far, but 18 are confirmed dead in North Carolina. The death toll from Hurricane Matthew is up to at least 36 overall, and thousands more are still without power in the United States. When a Nebraska man didn't hear from his grandmother after Hurricane Matthew, he went to a pizza delivery man for some help. 87-year-old Claire Olson's family waited for days to find out if she had survived Hurricane Matthew in Palm Coast, Florida, which is just outside of St. Augustine. When they didn't hear anything, the family called the only Papa John's in that area to deliver her a pizza. On the receipt were special instructions, including a phone number to call when the delivery guy got to the house. That phone number was Claire's grandson, who just wanted to know if she was okay.
Grandma, I haven't talked to you in 2 days. I got worried about you. You must be hungry by now.
Well, Claire's phone was actually disconnected, which is why no one could reach her. By the way, she says her pepperoni pizza was fantastic and much appreciated. That's a clever way.
It is a clever way.
With a family member.
Yep. If anybody can get through, the pizza delivery man can. That's always seemed to do it. Around our area, you know, so we had some pretty decent weather yesterday, and today the same, even a little bit more sunshine today, right. So that's nice news. Temperatures will probably be a little bit warmer, and we'll stay over the next couple of days. The humidity start to increase as well. Taking a look at the Sarasota webcam from the Van Wezel, you can see the clouds that started the day give way to blue skies. And I think we'll also see clouds kind of rolling through once again a little bit later this afternoon. That's going to happen in kind of waves, I think. And sometimes we'll have more cloud than blue sky, other times just the opposite. Very cellular nature in these clouds, even mid-level clouds and low-level clouds caused by winds brisk over a long fetch of Atlantic waters, pushing those clouds in this direction. By the way, red tide status as of this morning for the marine observers show that most of the heaviest toxins in the air and irritants in the air are in the northern parts of Manatee County. and then down in Venice Beach also. Siesta Key and North Jetty, the observers there at the time of this report reported no toxins in the air there. So if you are looking for a beach, those two might be good choices. You can always get the latest at visitbeachesmike.com. 86 will go for a daytime high today, and not much in the way of a rainfall chance today. Low relative humidity, relatively speaking, and over the next several days, we might see it go up a little bit. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. In the race for president, Donald Trump is increasing his attacks on leaders within his own Republican Party, and Hillary Clinton's campaign is dealing with more emails released by WikiLeaks. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest.
Donald Trump and his campaign unleashed and unshackled.
Shackles are some of the establishment people that are weak and ineffective people within the Republican Party.
Trump told Fox News he wouldn't be in a foxhole with GOPers who pulled their support.
Including Ryan, especially Ryan.
That. House Speaker Paul Ryan now focused on down-ballot races after Trump's vulgar 2005 video came to light. Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway on GMA.
Enough of the pussyfooting around in terms of, do you support us or do you not support us? And the fact is that, some of these leaders have been very wishy-washy.
Divided Republicans, united Democrats. Former Bill Clinton VP Al Gore came out of the political shadows to reunite with Hillary Clinton in Florida, the state that cost him the presidency in 2000. President Obama took on Trump and protesters wearing Bill Clinton rapist shirts in North Carolina.
Those are some folks who were They were auditioning for a reality show.
Clinton up in the polls, but dealing with more email fallout. The State Department under her time is accused of giving preferential treatment to Clinton Foundation donors after the 2010 Haiti earthquake. And after a WikiLeaks release, Trump claims the Clinton campaign was given updates about her private email server case. It turns out it was information that was already available to the public. Months ago, a Trump ally sent tweets warning about the impending WikiLeaks release. Now Clinton's campaign chair, who was hacked, is accusing the Trump campaign of coordinating with WikiLeaks and Russian hackers. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Well, if you love the smell of the Apple Store at the UTC Mall, you can now have it in your home. That's right, a soy candle is on sale that is supposed to smell like a new Mac computer. The candles with notes of mint, peach, basil, lavender, mandarin, and sage sold out in just 2 hours. The company that makes them, called 12 South, is promising to have more candles in stock later this month, if you're into that kind of smell. For those of you who think you can't take life out of a retail, maybe take a lesson from this woman. 91-year-old Betty Collette has retired from JCPenney after working for the company for, get this, 67 years. She started working at the store in West Virginia way back in 1950. Where the most expensive dresses were $279 to $14.99. She wore her high heels on every shift right up until her retirement party. Her son says Betty never thought of work as work and always enjoyed waiting on people and seeing customers. But get this, she's not the oldest or longest serving retail worker. In 2012, Rose Syracuse retired from Macy's in New York after working there for 73 years. That is something else. Let's get back to the kitchen now. See how lunch is coming along. A delicious chicken dish with Judy Gallagher.
Scott, there's hope for us. We'll be here till our 90s. Linda has set us a high standard here. So I have some chicken, some of that delicious chicken that's sauteing in butter. And like I said, I've already sauteed the mushrooms and the leeks. Now I'm going to add a little flour right to the pan. Sometimes you think about dusting the chicken. For this, it's going to go in after, and we're just going to give that a stir. Now, we already have paprika in with the mushrooms. The chicken has been turned over, so we have the mushrooms and the leeks, and that's going to go right in there. Perfect, right? So let's come over to this particular pan because this is almost all done. What I put in here is, this is classic roasted chicken stock, and the key being roasted chicken stock. So it comes in this really small container, and it's just like a glacé. So we're just going to take a little bit of it. We don't want to use too much because it's going to be salty. And we're going to whisk that in a little bit. That's going to give it that extra roasted chicken flavor. I just love chicken on the bone. and that's what I miss about when I use like boneless chicken breasts or boneless chicken thighs. That's going to enhance it. So we see that the paprika is really incorporated in it. We have salt and pepper and truffle salt. Now we're going to add just a splash of Worcestershire. And somebody off camera here asked me if you could add a little burgundy wine. Sure you can. I mean, this is your dish. You can cook it accordingly. So this is going to start to thicken up. We're going to add a little chicken stock, and then we're going to reduce it by at least half. So we're going to let that simmer in. Let's go back to this pan, put the heat up some more. Now you can really see where we're at. We have that beautiful chicken stock, and we've deglazed that a bit. So now it's time. We can add the sour cream. Now I remember my Nana used to say you can't just top it with sour cream. You have to whisk in the sour cream. And I love sour cream. And when I was a child, 3 and 4 years old, I would eat it right out of the container. That was my favorite thing. So I just like that bite of it. But see how we're working with it, because what we don't want to do is break. Okay, so we have that. Now all we have to do is toss it over some buttered egg noodles, and lunch is ready. We'll be back for a taste in just a few moments.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
So looking at the current air temperature, I'll stand out of the way so you can see it, 85 degrees with a dew point of 66. Yes, that dew point has risen just a little bit, but not all that much. It's still not uncomfortable. Northeast wind coming in at about 10. Now, when you think about heat indexes, a heat index is taking your actual air temperature, combining it with the dew point, how much humidity is in the air, and how much humidity affects how well your body's temperature regulation works through perspiration. And showing those two numbers together, you can get an idea of what the actual feels like temperature is. The higher the humidity, the higher the feels like temperature. So this map is a very instructive one, showing what the feels like temperatures are across the state. They're actually, from about our area northward, pretty close to the actual air temperature, and that's the benefit of lower relative humidity. Now you go a little further south where the humidity is a little higher and it feels a little warmer than it actually is because of the increase in humidity. And it's there that they've had more showery activity today, a little bit more drizzle in the air. We have a chance at seeing a little bit of drizzle as well with these clouds that are being pushed across the state on a northeast wind. In fact, we already have had some drizzle across the area, and we have some now near Arcadia most particularly. You can see the general flow of those storms is from east coast to west coast. a smattering of light showers, light enough that really doesn't impact things all that much. I mean, it's certainly not going to slow down a lawn service, this kind of light drizzle. A lot of times it's not even reaching the ground. It'll re-evaporate before it does so, but it's around, an indication that the atmosphere is beginning to moisten. And as we head into the weekend, I think a chance of more showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two is in the forecast. High pressure to the north of us, Nicole to the east of us, the two of them together acting to kind of really push that northeast wind our way. And at times, it's a brisk northeast wind as well. Nicole heads on up toward Bermuda, and we continue on with that northeast wind, maybe shifting a little bit more to the east over the next several days. Sun cloud makes breezy, and then that slowly rising humidity. So a Category 2 storm. It is still a strong and powerful storm with a chance at increasing in intensity as it moves up toward Bermuda. 100-mile-an-hour winds moving to the north at about 10, symmetric on all sides, a well-defined 30-mile eye wall, and it's certainly going to impact Bermuda with some at least heavy rainfall and some large surf, but possibly also a direct hit and maybe some wind damage. The building codes here are very good. Also, you've got some kind of rocky shore, so as far as a surge goes, that shouldn't be a big problem. All in all, it's going to be a disruption mostly to the power grids and to some of the less well-built structures. A very symmetric storm. Taking a closer look on high-resolution satellite, you can see how these storms have wrapped right around the center, providing this heat engine with the fuel it needs to continue growing. The symmetric shape showing shear is not really a big issue for this storm. It'll eventually be the cooler waters that kills it. We're looking at a northeast wind today at 15 to 20, bringing you a moderate chop on bay and inland waters with 2 to 3 foot seas. And the official Suncoast forecast calls for nice weather right straight through the next several days, with a chance of rain perhaps Sunday or Monday, certainly. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. The Circus Historical Society is holding its national convention in Sarasota this week. ABC 7's Linda Carson introduces us to an amazing Suncoast woman who will speak at that convention.
In the circus, Mary Jane Miller did it all.
I did the aerial act, I did the flying act, I rode elephants.
It started when she and her family came to Sarasota on vacation, and she made a friend whose parents were circus clowns.
She said, they're rehearsing out at Winter Quarters. Would you like to go watch? I said, yeah, that'd be fun. So I just graduated from high school.
She was captivated as she watched the girls her age work.
And they were climbing a ladder, about a 40-foot ladder. And the girls, they had hired New York showgirls at that time. And they would get about 2 feet off the ground and get scared and we couldn't climb. And I thought, I'd like to do that.
Finally, they let her try.
And I climbed right to the top. He said, you look like a little monkey climbing up there. But anyway, I did it. So I thought, I'd like to join the circus.
Her family was appalled.
My mother said, oh, no one in our family's ever been with a circus. We're from Grand Rapids, Michigan. You don't do things like that.
But join the circus she did.
I stayed there 14 years, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Especially the dangerous parts.
The flying act was probably the most dangerous, because if the catcher didn't catch you just right, you'd go down in the net. And I had one catcher who was not too nice, and he let me fall whenever I didn't do the trick just right.
And she loved working with the elephants. Ruth was her favorite.
She'd put her trunk out, and I'd stand on her trunk, and then she'd lift me up on her head.
And she was in other acts.
I hung by my teeth, and I hung by my neck.
But then she quit.
I decided if I was ever going to have a baby, I better have one now.
Her son was born in 1955. She didn't go back on the road again, but the circus was still in her blood.
I did work at the Circus Hall of Fame on the North Trail for 2 years when they had that.
Then she spent the next 40 years working at her family's RV supply store called Florida Trailer Headquarters. She's retired now.
And I'm still enjoying my life. I'm doing a lot of things. I visit several friends in nursing homes who are there now, and I bring them candy, and I know I'm always active, always doing something for somebody, and that's what keeps you happy.
And her life lesson?
You gotta think the best thought you can. You can't be negative about anything.
And you can find Mary Jane's picture here in Bob's Train Restaurant. Very appropriate because she has ridden many a circus train during her career. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you. Coming up, 2 stars are receiving some prestigious awards for their work, and we suspected it all along, but now it's official. How superstar Janet Jackson is making her pregnancy known to the world. Entertainment news is next.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by Gulf Coast Honda. Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
It's obscene. It doesn't belong here. That's how I feel.
Outrage from Venice residents after a Florida Power and Light solar project is built in the wrong location. Will it stay or be rebuilt at a cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars? Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Well, that story, plus our roundtable discussion.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Who does not like beef stroganoff?
And this is the chicken version, right? It's all about the sauce. And John, for people that don't like to make a salad, I'm a salad freak. I love it. So I just took some delicious fall pears. They're in season, little drizzle of balsamic vinegar, and then balsamic glaze, and then some pecans. And if you want, you can put gorgonzola. That's a lovely side, and it's going to balance off with the tartness and the butteriness of the chicken stroganoff.
Very European.
Very European, like Nana.
Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. It's a good one. Be sure and go there and check it out. Scott?
All right, guys, thank you. An online retailer is receiving some strong reactions from a Halloween costume. Take a look. The costume, called Parisian Heist, featured a bound and gag Kardashian lookalike dressed in a white robe and sporting a giant ring. The listing for the costume did not include Kardashian's name, but it shed light on a recent jewelry heist involving the reality star. The company who sold it pulled the costume from its site today, and after receiving plenty of backlash on social media. Queen Latifah is heading back to the award podium. The singer and actress will be the recipient of the Prince Rainier III Award at the 2016 Princess Grace Awards and Gala. Now, Latifah is receiving the honor for her work with charities and the arts. The gala will take place later this month in Monaco. Tom Hanks is also being recognized. He's receiving the Hollywood Actor Award for his portrayal of Captain Chelsea Sullenberger in Sully. Hanks will receive the honor next month at the 20th Annual Hollywood Film Awards. And Janet Jackson is finally letting the world in on her big baby news. The 50-year-old confirming the news to People magazine, sharing an exclusive photo showing off her baby bump. Before now, Jackson had kept a low profile on her pregnancy. She postponed her world tour in April for what she called family time, but now she's calling her bundle of joy a blessing. Jackson is married to a Qatari billionaire businessman, and this will be the couple's first child. So congratulations.
Well, she looks great.
Yeah.
50, I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, good for her. I wish her all the best, her and her family. Nice weather for you this afternoon. Low relative humidity compared to what we have been experiencing, and still in the 60s. Feels comfortable out there. A few scattered patches of drizzle, possible mix of sun and clouds today, and probably for the next couple of days. Then maybe by the weekend, we might get a little bit more sunshine, but we'll also have a little higher humidity as well. Maybe Sunday night into Monday, chance of rain showers possible. All in all, though, I don't see any more 90s on the forecast, which is okay for me.
When's the next cold
Thank
front?
goodness.
Do you know?
Well, it doesn't look like there's any cold fronts coming our way soon. Probably sometime middle of next week, we might see one work its way through here. But this high pressure ridge and this northeasterly to easterly wind flow is going to be kind of locked in place.
Okay.
Kind of
It's not
locked
bad,
in high.
but, you know, a cold front
I know.
would be nice.
Another good cold front. Certainly not,
By Thanksgiving.
not through the
By
weekend.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Not through the weekend.
All right. Thank you, John. Thank you, Judy.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you at 5.
Ugly.
Fat.
Big eyes.
Dweeb.
Useless.
Things that should never be said. Shut it down. We are all beautiful.
We are strong. We are powerful.
Be loud. Be proud.
We have the power to put an end to bullying.
So go ahead, be you. Be bold. Be different.
Be inspired.
Choose to stand up against bullies. Choose to be brave. Choose kindness.
Choose kindness.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.